All right, welcome to Black Lion's Domain, kids, for somewhat of an impromptu interview. All right, so according to one David Vine, I am to host our dear friends in the Igniting the Passion cast. And this little hun over here is actually his co-publisher. And before we actually get knee deep into this, kids, my condolences go to her and her husband. Her husband passed away of COVID. So if you would like to contact Miss Ma over here, please do so and give her your best wishes.
Thank
And rest in
you.
peace. And may everything be well. All
Thank
right, so
you.
she's an introvert, a publisher, a writer, and much, much more. And we will be talking about random things, including our book, Igniting the Passion, which Zachary Shiloh has had somewhat some gripes about. So, with that said, welcome to Black Lion's Domain, Jae Ma. How are you, hon?
Thank you so much. Um, it's been a journey with my husband with cancer, actually, but it has been an amazing, like, growing experience for sure. And I'm so grateful to be here today. It's, I think, my very first appearance back since everything this during this time. So I'm really honored to be here. Mhm.
Oh wow! I thought that you had other appearances before you even got there, or your husband passed away.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually, I have to say it's my second one. I now recall on in November was like my son's birthday, and that was when my other book that I contributed to for Introverts, Business Introvert, it went live and it launched. And so I think that was just still a haze, and gosh, time does fly. So this is the December one. Yes.
oh wow. So, my dear, can you give my listeners your background?
Sure. So I'm a mom and I have a teenager. I grew up really, really shy and very introverted. I just like in class, I remember like really going through majority of my classes, never really even saying a word. And then I somehow ended up being a teacher. I've been teaching basic math for almost 20 years. And I had a number of different experiences and just decided that I also wanted to continue to grow myself to also, if I can't do the things that I am asking of my students, which is to do presentations, to be out there, to go out of your comfort zone, to live your life, to continue to grow and learn, then I'm not being the best role model. So I decided to go online and I embarked on this journey of just kind of stumbling across network marketing at the beginning. And I really have that to thank because that helped stretch me a lot, mostly because I was so quiet and so shy. I had a fear of like approaching people and connecting with people. Like especially in bigger groups, I feel like a little more comfortable one-on-one, like growing up, at parties, like sitting in the background, maybe talking with one person. That was like my person that I would like be very comfortable to talk with. But if I had to talk in big groups, it wasn't as comfortable. So being online really helped to stretch me. And then also, I didn't realize by showing up online that I would also have an impact on others, like sharing my story. Also, along this journey, I've been able to bring other strangers, other people I've never even met through the journey with me. And I've been seeing them, publishing their books. I've been seeing them on digital stages. I've seen them on like live stages. And some of them said that because I was able to show up, they like, if I can, they can too. That was the comments. Some of the comments say that they would say like they were inspired by me being so quiet, so shy and so introverted, that they saw me showing up, that they ended up also being inspired to do these things that they also were like maybe had a fear of doing. And so I've been blessed with a number of great friends that I met around the world on this journey. And now I have a group, a Facebook group for introverts to help grow, glow, and thrive online. Been able to like be a part of an international best-selling book. I've been able to also contribute late. The last one was introverts, business introverts. So people were able, like I think that just showing up, you don't even know who's watching, and you get these opportunities. And so here I am connected with you doing this interview that I never even met you, Zachary. And so it's amazing how like things just show up, and because we show up.
Got that right. Oh, honey. I think you must be in your 30s to 40s if I had to take a guess at your age. Am I correct?
What was that?
I said, if I had to take a guess at your age, you're between your 30s to 40s. Am I correct?
Yeah, maybe a little older.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
Yeah, we're supposed to make that a math question because I'm a math teacher. So I'll give the audience a math problem to solve.
No, don't give them no math problem. Be honest about your age, Jae Ma. How old are you?
I'm in my 40s.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So don't be ashamed, my little hun. Don't be ashamed.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Like that, like through this process, you grow and learn a lot, and then also that my son, he keeps me active. So being able to embrace that at this age is nicer than how I was when I was like younger. Always not feeling confident, of who I am, and my age and all that other stuff. But I'm comfortable. But I always make it a math problem first because that's the teacher in me.
You need a hug, little hun. You need a hug. Oh, I can feel it from you. You need a hug, more ways than one.
Well,
you need a hug. Definitely. I can feel it from you. You're definitely shivering. You're definitely quivering. I can see it. Aww. It kind of makes me not have to go after you quite so much for my Black Lions roar.
I'm kind of hearing, but I think there's.
Oh, yeah. I said I don't have to go for you quite so much because of my Black Lions roar that you're holding hostage. Oh. All right, so let's talk about that. All right, so David Vine from Australia had me bring on the entire cast of Igniting the Passion. I actually was brought on when I actually was doing another book that he helped inspire called Letters of Love. So he pulls me aside and says, I would like for you to actually be a part of this book that I'm doing with Jae Ma. I said, okay, why not? And lo and behold, after the races we went, and he was telling me more about it. He said, oh, it's not your prototypical type of chapter book. Yeah. It's more so of an interview between yourself, Jae, and myself.
Yeah.
I said, okay, that's not bad. And I've already done 2 letters up to that point. I've already did like an ascension and my internet relationship. So I thought, all right, why not? Let's do something different. Let's go for it. So I gave it the appropriate title, Black Lions Roar 5. I didn't know anything in advance what was going to happen throughout the rest of the year. I thought you 2 knuckleheads would have actually had this thing out by now. But no, no, you didn't keep us in the loop at all. None of us authors. And that kind of got me heated. And I had to go hunting for David Vine, but sad to say, he was in a funk. And our dear friend Blair Hayes actually contacted me. And she said, you have to go talk to David. I said, Blairkins, I've been trying to get in touch with David for weeks now. And he's been ghosting. I have to go through you to get to him. That's a problem. And
Uh,
I understand that he's introverted. I understand he's got problems. But why do I have to go through you to get to him? That's what I actually basically said. And then he actually replied eventually. And off to the races we went. And then months passed. And I tried to be nice to you both, understanding that we're all introverts in this book. From what it sounds like to me, all of us are introverts. And we all have to be in ourselves and whatnot. But then come after your husband's death, I said, I've had about enough of this. I've had about enough. So I spoke up and I said something along the lines of this. All right, I've been understanding of this situation long enough. I actually am not quite so happy from this almost from the jump. You have been dogging us or dodging us for the longest time.
mhm,
We've been asking for information, no replies.
mhm,
We've been trying to put in the work, no replies.
mhm.
Months have passed. What is going on here? And then David chimes in 24 hours.
Mhm,
And I give it the 24 hours.
mhm,
Nearly 2 days passed.
mhm.
And I said, that's when I had enough. You ain't getting days anymore. Because with your rate, we're gonna actually be waiting until summertime. And I
Yeah.
ain't got nobody's summertime. I want my my 7 Black Lions roars by January 21st.
Yeah.
So I basically said it like that. And Tresh and Terry, who are getting ready to come on, if that sounds like I'm being a a-hole, I'm not sorry. You kind of can feel it too.
Yeah.
You can feel it too,
Yeah.
that you are in the same lane. So don't go after me because I actually call these two out. You're feeling it in your own rights as introverts. I can feel it from you too. You're an introvert.
Yeah.
Somebody had to
Yeah, I would have to say, I think everyone needs a Zachary in their life. Someone who you're really actually the action taker. And I think that it's always great to keep, like I pushing because I know that you do it because you want to have the results. And so in this process, it has been a journey because I remember the very beginning, I have not had a book out, and the stranger approaches me, and that was David Vine. Uh,
what?
that was David, and he says, "Oh, I'm looking to collaborate on a book, and would you like to be a part of this, the co-author?" And in the back of my head, that was when I started the network marketing. That was when I started the network marketing journey. And the beginning, you're trained to just say yes to opportunities and just figure it out. Like just say yes and figure it out, even if you don't know how to do it. And so I always wanted to write a book, but I thought that it was going to be a math book because I'm a math professor, right?
Right on,
And
huh?
and so I am writing, I have to say, has been like one of the painful things in my life. Like whenever I had to write art, like anything, write essays, like even in high school, I remember writing 2 to 3 page papers. And that was like a whole, I don't know, it was just a whole process. Math is like, okay, I can do it for hours until I figure it out. And same when I went into college and I had to write like the 15-page papers, like for every single class, because that was the requirement. That was like the most stressful thing for me. So I'm just speaking on my end. So when I said yes, I like just thought, okay, I don't really know, I'm not ready. I'm not comfortable sharing yet. I was just all the excuses that like procrastinating, like I just don't feel like I'm like there yet, you know. I don't know if my story or my journey is rich enough yet in order to like impact, because I, as a teacher, I just love like to be able to, you know, impact lives. And so it was just like, I think there was some block inside of me, and that's my end. I don't know about David. He's a writer, so you can ask for his take on it when you interview him. So
Already did.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can ask about that. So it was kind of like a process for my end. It's like writing a little bit here and there, and then taking a break, writing a little bit here and there. And I, one of the things that was helpful for me was like going into the gardens and going to tea houses. Like that was where I would write around, you know, at least having the company of others. That was what I found that worked for me. So in the end, especially like the past like month, just not staying alone because of all the other stuff that was going on and trying to just heal and everything. What I found was healing was it wasn't easy, but it was just like pushing myself, and having people like you, having people like David, you know, the other co-authors in our group, being able to see your messages come through, and just even if it was just like for you to share that you publish, you know, your book is out already. Here's the it's magical miracles, right? And so like yeah, and like that was so inspiring for me, and so that's what pushed me. It's like I got to get this out. I got to get this out. And the other thing is that I made a promise to myself that it has to be done. Like it has to be done. This is such a crucial year for our family, and that I've learned so much, and life is so short that like we keep putting things off. And so we keep putting things off. And so, you know, I think that like seeing someone like die in front of you, it teaches you a lot, that you don't want to keep putting off life, that you just need to get up and need to like just get the things done, and that you always wanted to do, and whatever that has been in your you know, in your dream, on your dream boards, on your vision boards, like it does take action. That's the step that like a lot of us forget. It's just that it does take action, and it also having the support, and that is the one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, like experiencing a loved one, you know, pass away, is that like it's the family, it's the friends, it's the people that you come across that like are the most valuable like gifts that you have in this world, and you can't let them down. You know, you see these messages in the group, it's like they're depending on you. They're depending on you to, you know, also share their story and be the leader. And so that's what I've been busy doing. It's like, even if it's like 15 minutes here and there, and in between picking up my son and, you know, from school, and like sitting in the coffee shop before, if I have an hour before he gets out of school, or I drop him off, and I have like 30 minutes at the coffee shop where I'm getting my coffee, might as well just make sure I'm like, you know, productive. And that's what pushed it through, and to the point where, yay, I met with David, and we're at that stage where, you know, it's out. So not out yet, but it's done. The writing is done. Maybe we're now in like the editing process, and we're aiming for it to be released in January. And so I'm so excited. It's just such a process. It's such a relief. It's like also like I'm so happy that there's something that I dreamt about like so many years of my life to get to this point where I can say like not to let our fears stop us, not to let what we think like our limiting beliefs of me, like being a writer, that I don't like to write. Like, how can I actually be an author? How can, I actually like write a book and be able to say that, yay, the writing is done at this point. I'm so happy. And I'm happy because I also have friends that like I interviewed and David interviewed like you, and that are a part of this mission. And that mission is to ignite our passion, right? That's the title, ignite our passion and co-create our dreams. So like, how can we work together in this world? Because life is so much like nicer and easier when you have that love, the support, the people. It's so much more meaningful to grow through like life together. And that's what I realized through this whole process of like planning the funeral and all the other stuff, is like I couldn't have done it by myself, I couldn't have gone through like the healing as much like if I was alone. And same with my son, like he turned 16 2 weeks after his dad passed. And so he was a little quiet the first like few weeks, and but it was because of the support and the family and the love and what he has to look forward to. Like, he's so young, and people coming and being able to like just share, their time, their love and encouragement. And like I'm happy to say that I watch him every day, talk to him and like communicate, and that I feel he's on a good journey. He's on a good path. He's excited that he has things to look forward to. And he's like, Mom, like, I want to do some business. Mom, like, he can do his performance. He has a performance on Sunday. He's has a charity event that he's doing in next weekend for retirement home folks. And like, the beach cleanup, the Tai Chi, like a lot of things that he has. Like, I think it's for us, it's like not been easy, but it's the like bigger purpose out there that like we live for, being able to show up not just because of us, but because we know that there's others depending on us, that others we can help impact. And so that's like what we found to be also helpful in the healing process. And we couldn't have done it, just like being able to do it together. That's why the title co-create, it's like co-create life. Like, we all can help each other to live out that passion, whatever it is that you desire.
I hear you. And David was telling me about the title, and I thought, that's not a bad thing. That's really a good title to actually have. And I almost left the book. Almost left the book. So, kids out there, let me remind you that these two knuckleheads actually were procrastinating for a bit.
I have to say, yes, it was a big procrastination. That was a process. I think doing your first book, like for me, it was a process. And I don't know if any one of you out there, if you're like me, who like wanted to, and you have that story, you have a book inside, and there's just like feeling like, okay, that like there's just things that you're always like, oh, I don't, like I don't like writing. I'm not, like there's things going on. You put it all in the back burner. I think that hire someone like Zachary. That's the first thing. Hire someone like Zachary. He'll be on you to make sure you get it done. Hire a mentor. But with all that, like aside, it's also like sometimes you get to the point where you also needed to go through the growing process, and you also needed to go through that experience. And for whatever reason it is, I added, to the book, I added some like parts to the chapters that I had written maybe 8 months ago, maybe, a year ago. I went back and edited some parts of it and added to it, because there were a lot of experiences that I only recently went through that was just included in the book. And without these experiences, I think, it wouldn't be in the book. It wouldn't be the me that I am now. And same with, I think, with David. He's also experienced a loss of family and different, through this process. And both of us had points where we would meet on our weekly meetings on Thursday. And it's like, the weekly meeting turned out to be, are you okay? How are you healing? We became great friends and supported each other in this process. It's like, what can we do? How do I support you? Let's do our breathing. Are you eating? Are you, is everything okay? Because also mental health, I realize sometimes you hear about it, but until we experience it, we don't really know the complete impact. So I feel like at this point, I had a few friends whose family members are in the hospital right now, and being able to be more compassionate, and because I've gone through that journey recently, or this last year and a half or two, I mean, seeing my husband in and out of hospitals for 1 month, 2 months at a time, surgeries, 5, 6 surgeries in the 2 months, sedated, cancer. So it was a process, and also understanding for me, people who have family members who had cancer or have cancer or died of cancer. And I feel that now that's part of my story. And having kids, seeing how to support kids through this process. And so that was maybe for me, when I think back, the timing, even though it took a while, but I think that it's also meant for it to be included inside the book to help others, empower others.
That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. I just wish that the sucker was actually out before.
Yeah, it could have been maybe we could have finished volume 1, then we'd be on volume 3 right now.
Yeah. Volume 3.
Yeah. I think I also during this process said yes to an opportunity to be included as one of the authors of a book, and I shared a chapter in that book that became an international best-selling an international best-selling book on Amazon. And I know it can be done really quickly. That book was out in a month, right? And so for those who are thinking also it takes, I know I have friends who also talk about writing books, and or they had a book in them and it took them 9 years or 11 years before their book was out. And so I think that there are probably a number of people like me who had that thought too, and it doesn't have to take that long. Doesn't have to take the 2 years or 9 years or 14 years, but whatever it is, I think that that there's a book inside everyone, and so you can go you have it done in the month, or just not to give up, just to continue doing it is what I want to share. It's it will get there. It will get there. If you are looking to publish, if you're looking to be the author, just 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I feel like it can be done, whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, I hear you. And there is a mystery writer. I'm not saying any names, and you're not saying that person's name. But there is a mystery writer, and if that person was not involved, I would have left. I would have left the book because of procrastination. But I actually understood from an introvert's point of view. I thought, okay, not only David, maybe Jae Ma's kind of an introvert too. And then lo and behold, your husband passes. I look at your profile and I said, Yeah, she's definitely introverted. So I was correct. I was definitely correct. So I'm going to the mystery writer and I'm saying, uh, I want to leave. I want to leave because these two cats ain't getting me what I want. And you know me for a long time.
Mhm. Yeah, and we're
They're
grateful for your contributions and glad that you're a part of it and that you had the patience with us because I think that you're a very also crucial part of this whole thing being able to be launched, in the time in January. Finally, like before the end of the year was our goal to have this book out. So actually just have everything done so that it can be out in January and it's
what?
done.
You know which way was
It's
still
done
gonna
on
be
my
out in
part.
January?
I'm done. But I think there's still little bits like marketing also and like editor and but yeah, I'm very grateful and very happy.
Yo, goofball woman, you actually said that it still was gonna be out in January regardless. Wow. Okay, no wonder I had to up and roar. Wow. Okay. Regardless of what would have happened, it still would have been out in January. Oh God.
I it just had to be done. I think
Uh,
that it's been inside of like it's been set aside, right, for a while. And so one of the things is I did promise to myself that like whatever it was that this book had to be like out had to be shared and had to be done in the process. It was not easy. It was like I don't know what to write. I don't know, I don't know, I don't have enough to share. But now I feel more confident about it. Yeah.
oh wow. And that's gonna follow me the rest of the day and even into our interviews forthcoming. The next two interviews. Wow. I wonder what they're thinking.
I know David is like in this process. He also had a few books out too. So he,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in this process, he had like contributed to a few books. I think that's the other thing is like we can take small steps and the experience of like just writing one chapter, contributing to one chapter of a book for those who, feel like me before, like overwhelmed by like, oh, I'm gonna have like to write a whole, like half of a book or a whole book. And I say like, wow, like I get to contribute a chapter of a book to I get to do this. And then so that like also gives you like that juice and that like, hey, you know what? Like it can be done. So during this process, I think that also helped me was just like I can actually be a part of a book, like do the one chapter or do a few chapters or however it is. And this is like the stepping stone, I think, because I also have one more book I want to make sure that goes out I been like, another one that I've been desiring to share. Mhm.
Something about you Asian friends that turns me on. It's kind of like hearing your laughs. I like hearing your laughs. They're cute.
Thank you.
You
We
laugh
we
so
have
much.
to, right? Like, and like that's the thing that we can share with others. And there's so much every day that we go through already. So why not? Why not? Mhm.
Oh,
And the
you're
other thing is I think that came up is like also for this purpose is to be able to, as a parent, I also want to be able to um like help out, like help my son with his book, help, my niece, help help other kids around. And that's the next project too, because as a parent, like when like you experience it, like you can also help shortcut their journey. So that's the other part of the co-creating that I feel very passionate about. And that is that I as like not as easy, but there were a lot of sacrifices and to be able to like do this. And then once we go through it, we can also help our own family members or friends or those who want to do it. And that in this case, I have my son on my list, and then my dad also, and my mom. I can like say, okay, I've gone through this journey. So I want to help you with your book. I want to help you publish your book and help you get your poetry out and help you get your writing out. And then I know that I wanted to help my niece. And then there's like other friends' kids. And so I think that's the other part of the co-creating part is passing on to the next generation.
Oh, and you're actually making me all in a flow state. What else? Oh, and you're actually giving me more fuel to actually get my Black Lions roar, so I could actually go and do a solo.
Hey, yeah, I can't wait for yours. Like, so you have also done, I was looking at, some of your posts on your profile,
Oh,
and you have also a story that are very inspiring, like taking action from where we chatted a little bit about your career and in the health industry and how you came online and like do podcast and author. And so I actually like, I'm excited for others to hear your story inside the book. Do you want to share a
oh,
little bit about that?
if you want me to, my dear.
Yeah, let's let our audience know a little bit about you.
Okay, my dear, if you're asking for me to give a tidbit about my book. All right. So David Vine again approached me about this, I would say June-ish, I think it was. I believe you two started working on it. And he gave me this question. I looked at it and I did the best I could, but then at the time I was like, brain fart with the go out of the question. So I had to put it aside, and David wasn't answering me too well anyway. So I said, I'll just go back to the letters and love and everything else I was working on. So months passed by, and then a certain Polish love actually comes into my life. And we're talking a little bit more. She's already in my life at that point. So we're talking, and I feel inspired. My writing style goes from wildfire to inferno. And eventually, I finish off my chapter in the forthcoming book called Rebel Romance. And lo and behold, I got that same baby and made it a prelude in Magical Miracles, which is out now. And then from there, I said, yes, I got it now. And I could start going back to doing Igniting the Passion. So I'm writing my chapter and I'm thinking, okay, I can answer this better. I can answer that better. And I'm just going through it. And I said, yes, now it's done. Now it's done. It's out of my head. So there is a question, and I even said this to David. I think I don't remember which one it was, but I had to come up with a disclaimer. I literally had to come up with a disclaimer. I said, this is not the views of David Vine or Jae Ma. Do not go after them by any means. This is just my opinion. And then I just answer it. And I think that would probably be the most funny question to actually get the answer to. I actually do know the forward writer. I said that before, and I'm not laying out who it is. And I'm telling this one again, don't lay it out who the writer is either. She is forthcoming on this podcast. When the time comes, then you'll know. And let's just say it is somebody that has past ties to David Vine and I. So play with the ideas of guests that I've had on this show who know David Vine and Zachary Shiloh, or Zachary Shiloh Watts, depending on preference. So I'm actually going along with this and I'm having a little bit of fun. And I said, I know the forward writer. I don't want to come out bluntly. I don't want to come out bluntly. Let's make the people laugh. Let's actually see if they'll catch on to what I'm saying. So I'm just laying it out like question by question who it is. And then I come out at the end and say, oh, hi, such and such. And then we go from there, like bluntly who it is. That was absolutely fun. I gotta admit, that was my favorite thing, just like laying out who the forward writer was. And the fact that she's around, I believe our book will be number one, definitely, when the launch happens. And forward writer, hi, hi, hon, if you're listening to this, I love you wholly, dear. Yes, I do. But the actual book itself, even though my Black Lions Roar 5 is not out right now, I would say it needed to actually take a serve, a little bit of a sword. Because we're all introverts. I gotta believe in every single one in that book, especially one Abby Young. What's going on with her?
Oh, my girlfriend Abby, she finished her section. There was an interview that we did. So it's just waiting on the book getting out there. So she already had her interview with me months ago. Yeah. So that's the other part of writing that can be fun. It doesn't really have to be the traditional, like, like here, here's the questions. Let's have you write the responses. So she's one of my girlfriends that I also met online during this process. That's why I think the online world has helped me out so much to grow, to expand, to like expand my horizons, because the way I met her was that I saw her on her Facebook Live. She's a mentor and she's has a podcast herself, an international ranked podcast that I also like. My very first podcast interview was on her podcast show, and it ranked like 14 internationally, like in they ranked 14 in Singapore, and then forget what it was in different countries, on like Apple Podcasts and things like that. So it was very fun. And the way I found her was because I was just watching, like, during this like whole time, just watching Facebook lives and like growing. And I kept seeing her show up walking the streets of Singapore on her Facebook lives. And then I had this like passion for Singapore maths for about, I think, 13 years or so, because being a math teacher. And I was very intrigued about Singapore. I wanted to go there for at least 10 years. And it wasn't until 10 years that I took, our family took a trip there to Singapore. I love the country. And so when I saw her on her Facebook Live and I found out like she's from Singapore, she's walking the streets of Singapore, I was just like following her, like, where is she going? Where is she walking? What part of Singapore is she in? What is she eating? And she was sharing also like her entrepreneurial journey, and she has a podcast that's like fast forward your entrepreneurial journey. And she's one of my mentors. She ended up being one of my mentors, and she helped me so much ever since that when we connected. I believe we've been like at least messaging each other almost every single day, if not every day, like almost every day. It's like, if not just like a little like share of some like TikTok video that she saw, or it could be like, here's a YouTube link to something, or just saying hi, like, how are you doing? Or sharing, I don't know, just little different projects that we're doing, or what food we're eating, because we were like embarking on the health, and wellness journey, music that we can play at night, meditation, like different things. And so she is like, there's a reason why I wanted her, and I'm glad that she said yes to being one of the co-authors, one of the contributing authors to this book, because she had such a big impact in my life during this process. She was such a great support for me. And along with her and Simona Wong, who is my other friend, now we're, chatting also almost every day. We last New Year's Eve, Simona had a vision during a meditation that she wanted to, oops, I should have, Simona Wong had a vision in one of her meditations to put on a charity event. And that was a 24-hour online charity event with speakers and showcasing also talent to spread love and joy around the world over 24-hour period around the world to ring in the new year. And the purpose was also to, whatever we take in, we would give back to orphans and Project Underground Railroad. And so we didn't really know how to do this. She had the vision. Abby asked me, do I want to do this? I was still busy teaching full time. And I said, like, I'll wait until after my finals. Then I can focus on this. It's a lot of work, right? Like, so after I completed finals, and I just delved right in, because it was so exciting to work with them and to invite speakers. Some of our speakers are very, very elite, mentors. They, have been around, and they normally would charge a bit to even speak on different platforms, but they came in and they volunteered their time. We even had to turn away speakers because that was the one thing that I felt so happy and so blessed to work on that project with them, because I saw humanity come out. I saw the love come out. I saw people who really desired to help, just with all their heart, and to be able to be on this common mission where we have this common goal. That's the co-creating part. Well, even though we didn't know how it was going to be done, we just said, yes, let's get it done. In less than 2 weeks' time, we put together this thing, working very hard. I remember, I think I didn't sleep for 50 hours before that show, through that show. Yeah, I mean, it was not easy, but it was when you're so passionate, when you love it so much, and you know that it's this bigger purpose, that you're together with your friends and family, that you're creating something together that can spread that joy, and it can be fun. We had singing, we had some dances, we had motivational speakers, we had some really great speakers on there. We also had beginnings speakers, where that's the other thing, is being able to have this platform to help someone also live out their dream. We had a person who always wanted to be a speaker, but didn't know how it would happen, and so she was one of our speakers, and we so she lived out her dream to be able to be a speaker amongst a number of really great speakers and talent. And so the event was so fun that it ended up being 26 hours instead of just 24. We could have gone on because, we didn't even have any more slots to fill for that event. We could have made it a lot longer, but of course we need sleep too.
That right.
I mean, I think I crashed a week after, for a week after that. I was oh, so tired. But it was the greatest joy to be able to work with others to create that. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. We're working on the second time this year. Also, I think that it would be a lot less in terms of time wise, but it's just because that mission of being able to create something and come together, feel the love, feel the humanity, see the humanity. It gives you, I think that also for me, maybe it's also that healing, to be able to like do something bigger than me. And yeah, so that is the other thing. It's like sometimes when you're in pain, you find something that's greater than you, and it gives you like purpose. It gives you joy. It gives you like when you work together with some like people um, who are so heartful, who want to make an impact. It just like there's nothing that can compare. Like it just gives you a lot of joy to be able to be a part of. Just like this book.
Oh, I want to give you tear. Let me try to reword myself. I would give you tissues to wipe your tears, or if I actually was your husband, I'd lick your tears and be like, that tastes salty.
I know he's happy. I know he's proud of us. Like that was the one thing is like he like waited for all of us to be there in his last, moments, and that was all that he wanted was just, I know, like he was happy and peaceful when he left, because it's just having the family and friends around that. I know he's partying right now. I know he's always around. And I know that he's proud, and that makes me happy. Mhm.
Well, with that said, there is a certain somebody that's waiting to be admitted into this chat. So the ending has changed
Oh,
because of Zoom and different things going on. Now I have to start with this. Your hopes, my dear Jae Ma, my beautiful Asian hun from the West Coast. What are they, my dear?
my hopes.
Ding dong.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I I have a lot of hopes, but I think the desires is to be able to just take each moment and be grateful. And for each of us, I think that's the one thing is like getting to the point where we can be grateful for all the little things and in life, like each day finding the things that we can be grateful for, and having the people around us also, like when it's not like much. It's just like like this morning I drove my son to school. It's like, Mom, I love you. Like I'm thankful for you. Thank you for taking me to school. Like those are the things that give me joy. And I'm grateful that like I can hear that. And I'm grateful he's grateful. I'm grateful that like I have him. I had the opportunity to take him to school. I think like for the community, for people around, is I think that's my desire, is just to live in joy, because being grateful or having that gratitude each day for the moments that we can still be above ground, to be able to like work together, support each other. That's my other desire, is like that we continue to love and support each other. And life is like just, you just don't know the next moment. So each moment that we can like be here on earth, when we have a choice, is to be able to, it's not easy all the time, but like as much as we can make the choice to like love one another, support one another, because life is just so much more happy and meaningful that way. And to continue to co-create and take our passions and our gifts and our to be able to share it with the world. And if you're an introvert and shy, not just introvert, I was very shy and introverted, like me, who've ever have felt unseen or unheard, unsupported at some point in your life, but you have that story that you want to share, like reach out if you need some support. But I know that it's all possible. That's the one other thing that I experienced with like going through being a caregiver for my husband is that he went through his cancer. He had to have his voice box removed, and that was one of my it was one of the hard things to see someone who loved to talk all his life to not be able to use his voice, and that we have, for those who have the voice, to be able to share it when we can. And like that's why it's like sometimes like through this process I've been like quiet, I've been introverted, and it's like no, his gift to me was that um, I need to share my voice. I need to like help others share their voice. I need to like support each other, like support others who like are shy or quiet or introverted. Like you have something to share. And even no matter what you think it is, like it can be like the simplest thing, you go and like out there and you see a garden and you see the flower and there's meaning to that. Like there's something for each of us to share. So keep keep spreading our comfort zone, keep working with one another, say yes to some of those opportunities that you feel like you just feel and you just know that's the right one. Even if you don't know how to get there yet, you don't know the hows yet, say yes. Of course, there's the times when there's so much distraction. We also, the other thing is learning to say no to things, because for me, I'm still so growing. That's like being able to like say no and focus. So say yes when you feel that like you just know like there's going to be a bigger purpose and mission to this, whatever it is, and stay focused. So those are my hopes and desire. And I also hope and desire for children, like my own son and people around the children also like also use their gifts and talents to be able to impact others out there and live a happy life, live joyfully in gratitude. So I'm very grateful to be here, Zachary. Thank you for interviewing me. I'm so grateful for all the contributing authors. I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you for your patience and also for your contributions. I even have a friend from South Africa who's like my other brother that I've never met, but we want to meet. He has a wife. Yeah. So he's in the book. He's such an inspiration. He has books out there too. It's Man of No Excuses. I'm just grateful. And then Cheryl too, my other, person that I interview. I don't know if I can mention all the other ones because but I don't want to give away. There's the authors that like David I can say their first name, right? Like Terry. Yeah.
Shortly.
Yeah. So it was going to come out. Yeah. And you're going to be interviewing them too. Mm-hmm. Let's see the surprises in store. For us.
Ready in a few minutes. Okay, with that said, all right. If not now, my dear little Asian kins, can I have 3 people yes, I'm pointing at you right now. Can I have 3 people that you think would be great for me to interview?
Yeah. You mean as part the 3 people who are not a part of the book?
Yes.
Okay, so far.
Don't have to have them right now. You don't have to have them right now.
Yeah. I have a number of people, a lot of them actually. I would love to, depending on what topics, but I have a few in mind right now, as you just said that, in different space, in different industries, because that's the beauty about doing this online thing. You just come across so many different like types of like people in like all walks of life. And so I have some in mind if you want to like have me share after.
Ooh, okay. You can tell me private. I don't mind my little.
Yeah. Really amazing people who I also am very grateful and thankful. Some really great people. I don't even know. They're like my angels. I feel like how did I get so lucky to like even interact with them? Mhm.
All right. With that said, the final piece for the true outro. What can I, Zachary Shiloh, do for you going forward, my beloved?
I would say keeping you because a lot of people need you and the world needs you. And just continue to do whatever you're doing, taking action. You're such an action taker. And I know that everyone needs a Zachary in their life. If you're looking to take action, if you're looking to work with someone who will make sure that you get things done, go for Zachary.
Thank you very much, my beloved. With that said, one goal, one aim, one road, one focus, and that's love it. I truly love me some Jae Ma. Even if she actually took my Black Line drawer and had it come out January, I still love me some Jay over here. I still love me some David Vine. I even love the rest of the authors,
They're very
especially
great.
the pending one that's waiting in my chat.
Yeah,
So with that said, also Abby Young, the aforementioned Abby Young, who hasn't said a word to anybody in this chat at all. Abby, we would love to hear from you once, you crazy hun, once
we'll have to connect
before.
privately. I think because I'm not sure if she's even more introverted than me, but
Oh, she's
maybe she has
introverted.
not. Yeah,
She's
I think she was
definitely
just waiting. She for her, I can say I think she was just waiting for the book to come out because she's really excited, and so we'll for sure get you guys set up for your interview.
okie dokie. Well, that's with that said, pretty much it's over, kids. I will see you in the next episode. See
Thank
you
you.
in a few minutes.